With 5 days to the Royal Rumble, things are getting suspenseful. This is WWE Raw, January the 22nd, 2024, from New Orleans, Louisiana, the 1600th episode of Raw ever in their history. What's up, everybody? Brett Mix here, Mixer Madness. Thanks for deciding to spend the next 20 to 25 minutes. Kick back, grab a drink. This show should have no advertisements on it because it's a newer channel. It's just a fairly quick rundown of what happened tonight with some brief analysis sprinkled on the side. So settle in for the Raw review. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. It's a new channel. I could take all the likes and subscribes that I could get. I'd definitely appreciate that. Exciting times here, as I said, just 5 days to the Rumble. Somebody's got to tell Gunther it's not this Sunday, it's Saturday night. How about that, eh? That was a little interesting to open the show. Let's get to it. It's exciting times. We open this show with a shot outside of New Orleans. Just a shot of New Orleans. I think they call it the Big Easy. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it's the Big Easy. Cole says it's the 1600th episode. As expected, we hear "Burn It Down" from the PA. Seth Rollins comes out first, as I said he would in the Raw preview. They like to get those kind of announcements off the start of the show. Only something is different about Seth Rollins coming to the ring. He's not whoa-ohing, so something serious. And he has tears in his eyes, legitimately. So we either think this is a retirement speech or he's definitely vacating that belt. The fans in Union won't stop whoa-ohing, and I just can't stand it. I personally am so over it. It's brutal to this point. I know fans do it because when you're there, it's fun, just like the what chant. But just think of how it seems on TV is all I got to say to whoever the live goes there live. Just think of how it's going to be to us. You wouldn't like it if you were at home either, but fans are chanting "Thank you, Seth," as if he is retiring. Seth is choked up by the animosity, the positive energy from the crowd. It's like they're taught how to act in these situations. Rollins says he used to say every defense makes him stronger, but he feels like a liar when saying that. He says last week he hit a moonsault like he always does in his matches, but he felt his knee give in. He says the doctors told him to go away for a while. He has a grade 2 torn ACL and a partially torn medial meniscus, which usually takes 3 to 4 months to heal. And it occurred to him that he could be missing Mania. The fans boo and chant no. All of a sudden, Imperium's theme hits, and out comes the longest reigning IC champ in history at the top of the 1600th episode of Raw, interrupting Seth Rollins. It's Gunther with Imperium. Seth says, look, if you want to come out here and make an example out of me, just hurry up and do it, because he's got no time for this and just wants him to get it over with. And Seth wasn't finished. Gunther says, you should focus on me. Gunther says, this is the perfect time to let everyone know what he thinks of Seth Rollins. Gunther says, you labeled a workhorse champion from the beginning, a champion who brings dignity and honor to the title, a champion who everyone can be proud of, a lot like me, Gunther says. Gunther says, it pulls on his heartstrings, and he's finding out you may not make it to Mania makes him sad. Seth says, well, you should have let me finish then. I'll keep my promise, and I'll take this title into Mania, and I'll do everything the doctors don't say because I'm Seth freaking Rollins, pretty much. That's paraphrasing it. And he says he'll do everything in his power to walk out of Mania the world champion. Gunther says he admires and respects that. Gunther says on Sunday he's going to win the Royal Rumble, even though it's Saturday, not Sunday. And he's going to win the Rumble, the largest. He'll target every part of Seth and become the world champion at Mania. Seth says, remember who you're coming after. He could have buried him a lot there, could have Seth, with the whole Royal Rumble being on Saturday. He could have said, actually, Gunther, it's Saturday, but Seth Rollins could have done that. So either he's a class act and he didn't do that to burn him, or he just was thinking of his own lines and didn't really tune into what what Gunther was saying. So I don't know. I admire Seth if he didn't burn him on purpose just to protect him. But I think Seth was thinking of his own lines. So I think the latter was the truth there. Either way, it's just a minor slip up, but Michael Cole took it upon himself to say, no, the Royal Rumble's Saturday about 5 times, right when he got on the mic right after the opening segment. And as he should have. I mean, it's your second biggest event of the year. You want the fans to know that this week, which night it's on. Interesting segment here that makes one think about the Royal Rumble winners a bit differently now. Gunther's chances just skyrocketed because of that opening segment. They give him the first 20 minutes of the go-home show of Raw to talk to the world champion about winning the Royal Rumble. That instantly makes Gunther the third most likely, if not second most likely guy to win it. Whatever order you put Cody, Punk, and Gunther in is up to you, but it makes Gunther is definitely the third or second most, because he's not the top choice. That should be probably Punk or Cody, right? So he's either second or third. Well, we opened it up with the New Day coming to the ring to attack Imperium because things have been getting very physical. We all remember the steps to Kofi and Xavier Woods, the Imperium running around the ring and damaging the hands. So this is very personal. So we get a brawl and then we get a tag match when we come back from the break. Xavier Woods chops Kaiser and steps up to an enziguri. He tosses Vinci to the outside. It's the New Day versus Imperium. Kingston not tagged in because Imperium drops Woods on the apron spine first. Kingston then chases Imperium around the ring, and as the New Day try to regroup on the outside. Imperium stand in the middle of the ring, and they giving the cue to go to the break. It's like I say, I want to watch a WWE match. You should come back 5 minutes after the opening bell because you missed the first two minutes of a spot they do, and then you got 2 or 3 minutes of commercials. So 5 minutes after the opening bell, you get the match. That's what you should do if you want to watch a WWE match on TV in 2024. Wait 5 minutes from the opening bell, and then you should get an uninterrupted match from there. I'd be sarcastic, but it's really contrived at this point. So back to the action. A hot tag with Kingston is legal. As we return from the break and fashion, Xavier is being worked on, double teamed. They're making frequent tags. Vinci sent Woods crashing into the top rail face first and tags in Kaiser. Kaiser sends right hands to him and then rocks him with a knee. Kaiser ends up on the outside and Woods sends in interfering Vinci to join him. Kaiser drags Woods out of the ring and the referee isn't looking at him and Vinci sends him crashing into the ring apron. Kaiser then sends him with the colliding of the barricade. Kofi Kingston is finally tagged in and takes apart both members of Imperium. Kofi then with a suicide dive dropping Vinci, then one to Kaiser on the other side. On a roll in the Rumble where Kofi usually does a memorable spot in the Royal Rumbles, so he's going to be in the Rumble again this Saturday. Both teams are counted out here, which is a good finish. We haven't had that in a while, the double count out. I'll take that over Imperium losing via roll-up any day. That whole roll-up finish is so overplayed. It's worse than the commercials every minute after the opening bell. So I'll take that any day. A double count out. I gave this match 2 stars. After the match, Kingston was about to be decimated with a chair, but Woods made sure that in the crowd area on stacks of equipment, they were still brawling. To save Kingston, Xavier Woods sprawled up onto the cases. And on top of the cases, they went to go suplex Woods. And then Kofi blocked it, and then Imperium went to save each other when they were going to get suplexed. Eventually, Kaiser is speared by Xavier Woods through the table as the crowd chant, "Holy shit, good spot on the outside there." They preview WWE 2K24, which looks awesome. The WrestleMania mode looks alone amazing. They give 40 years worth of WrestleMania matches to choose from, and we saw previews of Shawn Taker, Bret Austin, and Hogan Andre. I'll be one of the first people in line to get that game. I love 2K games. So, yeah, I'll be giving a review of that game if anyone's interested when it comes out on this channel. Priest gives his 2 cents to the Judgment Day, saying that Rhea's got a big head for making it on the cover of 2K. I'm sure they get royalties for that. So I'd be happy, too, if I was on the cover. And Mummy says she wants to see a vicious side of Finn Balor. Balor says you want to see vicious. I'll show you vicious. If I was Rhea, I'd bring up the fact that JD and Dom can't ever win. I think McDonough hasn't won a TV match since September. I heard that somewhere on the internet. I don't know if it's true or not. Don't hold me to that. But if it's true, it's pathetic. If they want to talk about how much Judgment Day run Raw, they need to spread out the wins some more, even if they are the bottom half of the stable. They showed how much they think of Ivy Niles' promo skills by letting her say one word in her promo. They had Maxine and then the Creeds of all fucking people, the Creeds, interrupt her. So Ivy Nile just said something like, "I'm going to get that barefoot wench," or she said something like that. Ivy Nile then takes on Ivy Nile with Maxine Dupree takes on Valhalla. Valhalla circles the ring and lands a hard right to forearm to the Pitbull. The keeper of the gods, Valhalla, is barefoot and she bites on the ropes after a move. Niall's face looks exactly like Ivory. I made a noticeable comment there. Not at all the same, but just her face, if you look at it. Valhalla, if you take the buzzed hair away. Valhalla and Ivy Nile on the top rope, and she hits a bulldog off the top for the win. Gave it 3/4 of a star. Looks like they want to push Ivy Nile. I said in my preview that she's going to get the victory. In fact, I got every single winner correct tonight for my Raw predictions in my preview video that I did. There were 6 predictions. I got all 6 right, but I'm not some Nostradamus. I'm sure they're all predictable matches. If you really think about who should win, they were all predictable matches. So, not exactly bragging about that. Jackie Redmond asks Jey Uso about what happened out there with Imperium. Kofi Kingston says he's going to challenge next week not Kaiser and Vinci, Gunther for the Intercontinental title. And normally I wouldn't take that seriously, but should Gunther win the Royal Rumble, there could be a chance he drops the IC title, because then he's in the main event world title scene, so that he wouldn't have the IC title. So maybe they have a feud with Kofi and Gunther. Maybe Gunther is eliminated by Kofi in the Rumble, or maybe Gunther eliminates Kofi in the Rumble, I should say, and then Gunther goes on to win the Rumble, and then they have a mini feud over the IC title, and then Gunther goes to the main event of WrestleMania. We could see that happen. We never know. Speaking of going to the main event at WrestleMania, and you never know, Nia Jax comes out to a chorus of boos. Hopefully not. Nia Jax, her winning. Nia Jax giving out compliments, but says she squashed Rhea and Becky, both squashed. She used that word. She's using that word a lot. It's the internet term too, squashed. Becky comes out and says the only thing people agree with is that everyone hates Nia. Bayley then interrupts. Saying she's winning the Rumble. But isn't Bayley on SmackDown? I hate when they just show up for no reason. Put that on hold. They did give us a reason later in the night, so I'm not as mad as I was. Bayley did come in, and I'm hoping Bayley wins. Out of Becky, Bianca, Nia Jax, those are probably the top 3 for the females. I hope Bayley wins this one. They do the by the numbers video about the Royal Rumble. Pretty sure it was Jackie Redmond doing the voiceover. I always like those Rumble by the numbers statistic videos. The Miz took on Dirty Dom with Finn Balor. Miz delivers a chop to Dominic. Dominic responds with a boot. Miz turns Dominic inside out with a clothesline, but Dominic bumps him out of the ring, and Balor takes a cheap shot while the referees aren't looking. Dominic then delivers a tope suicida to him and gets him in the back of the ring before firing off right hands. Miz responds with a few chops, but Dominic sends him crashing out of the ring. Loud "you suck" chants to Dom. Miz fought back with Irish Whip. If I were booking things, I'd make people like Miz and Jey Uso say they're going to win the Rumble. They both had time to talk on the mic tonight. Miz could have said easily before his Rumble match that he's going to win the Rumble, because there's never been a Rumble winner that hasn't said he was going to win it beforehand. You've never seen a Rumble winner ever win it that didn't say they were going to win beforehand. So it opens up the believability factor if mid-carders say they're going to win. So that's why I thought they should do that. Thankfully, Dominic gets the win. I'm not a big Dominic fan, but I'm not a fan of how much they've been jobbing, as I've said. So Dominic gets the win as Miz looked for a skull-crushing finale, but then they were interfered with by Finn Balor. So they got a frog splash after Balor interrupted the match with the official, and Dirty Dom gets the victory over the Miz. They already did a star and a quarter. DIY come to the ring to protect Miz because they face the Judgment Day next week. DIY and Ciampa come to the ring for blows. JD is hit with a skull-crushing finale after the match. Balor saved JD in the middle, but they're standing on the bottom rope with the stare down as the heels walk backwards up the ramp, pointing to them. This the typical spot we always see. Priest backstage with Jackie. Then R-Truth says he's got Priest cut, but he has to do something about JD. He has dirty history on some kind of app. He didn't get to finish his sentence, but he said that he's got something dirty, and the fans laughed, and then Priest interrupted him and said, nothing good from this, and nothing good came from this. All of Drew's failures, he mentioned, how Drew has failed when he's faced everybody in the last year. He won't tonight, he said, and he said he'll be a top contender. And that's how that segment ended, with Priest pretty much running down Drew. Chad Gable versus Ivar. This one was really good. Gable with a front flip into Ivar in the beginning, then a spinorama slam by Ivar. Inside and out slam, they called it. Crazy speed by the big man. Ivar with a suplex attempt, but Gable drop kicks him. Ivar misses with an elbow shot, but Gable moved out of the way. Gable with a spin kick and a swinging neck breaker. Up top, collects with a diving headbutt. Back from the commercial, he hits a superplex to Ivar on the very top rope. Apparently, we missed a lot during the break, and they show Ivar running his knee into the apron on Gable. Gable with a dragon screw and a top victory roll into the ankle lock. This one of 2 times he put the ankle lock on Ivar. Spin kick, then an ankle lock again. Ivar gets to the rope. He breaks up the hold. Gable with a huge German suplex and a bridge on the big man, but Ivar kicks out. It's been a great match. In the end, off the top into a German suplex out of the corner. Gable goes off the top rope and hits, but Valhalla screaming in his face. Ivar then dumps Gable on his head. Ivar from the top rope hits a moonsault and gets the victory. Great match. I put it on my loser list that I have. Not list of losers, but I'm a loser for having a list of 3.5-star matches and above. Now, I don't actually think I'm a loser, but I'm a super fan, if that's what it's called, for having a 3.5-star and up match list. I have over 1,200 matches on the list from like 1980 and forward. I should do something with that list on this channel. We'll see. Cody Rhodes then comes out, and before a word, CM Punk's theme hits, and here we go. We got the face-to-face between Cody and Punk. The crowd are amped for this as they chant CM Punk to start. Cody then does what do you want to talk about anyway, even though he got interrupted by his music. So Punk says just straight up, I want to talk about your dad, as the fans ooh and ah. Your father called me on the phone in 2007 as Cody gets choked up thinking of his dad doing this. And he said, Dusty wanted me to make sure that you're going to be okay. And Punk says he's proud of Rhodes. Punk says, I bring all this up because I feel I have to take something away from you, your dream. I will beat you up, and Sunday morning, what will you think of me then? Because I will do whatever it takes to win the Royal Rumble. I will punch you. I will do whatever it takes. Cody talks back about OVW and how they became friends. CM Punk says he can separate the business from his life on Sunday morning, but he knows how he'll feel. But Rhodes' personal life is this business, so he's not sure if he can do the same. Cody says that Punk did look out for him, and since he didn't pave his way and didn't scratch and claw to get to where he did in OVW, he got there on name value alone. He thought he could have been cold to him, but he wasn't. Wow. Somebody has something good to say about CM Punk from before. I like to see that. See, Drew McIntyre, people can change. And I knew there was good in Punk before. It's not like Punk was a complete prick before. And even if he was, there's still stories like this where he befriended Cody Rhodes. It was nice to him. Punk talks more about being an American dream than Cody is, because it's ironic because his dad was just an electrician and not a famous wrestler. And Cody says, I want to talk about the pipe bomb. He says, you left after you gave that speech, but I accomplished everything your speech talked about, so I'm more CM Punk than you. So the atmosphere was compelling. I predict this promo will probably be the highest rated segment of the show when we get the ratings tomorrow or the next day. Cody said if he's more of the American dream than him, then he should know a quote from John Wayne, and that is, courage is being scared to death but saddling up anyway. In the end, what both men say, the direction of Mania goes through them. They do a mic drop and a face-to-face, that old Hogan Rock where you look one way and then the other guy looks the other way. Taker and Triple H used to do that. And other people have done that in the past. I think Cena and The Rock did it as well. And now Punk and Cody do it. I was expecting Drew to come out when this happened, but then I remembered he's in the main event, so they probably didn't want to have him in another segment. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae take against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Baszler begins with LeRae, and she gets arm drag takedowns. Shayna goes to the corner, and Stark says, I got it. Hartwell comes in and takes down Stark. Stark gets a boot to the face and crash on Bird on the floor as Candice LeRae does a high-risk move. We come back from the break. Hartwell takes it to LeRae, and Niven and Green are watching from the back. Carter and Chance are watching from the ring. Baszler taken down with a snapmare and going for a Karafuda clutch. Then she gets a thrust kick. Stark is the legal person coming in and hits Z360 to Baszler. Baszler and Stark hit it, I should say, and they get the victory. Star and a half for that match. And they got the winners right. That's who should win. The Kabuki Warriors then came in, and as Damage Control, were all on Raw. Not just Bayley. The Kabuki Warriors, too, dropped them as they set up for their match on SmackDown for the titles. Jackie Redmond is backstage with Drew McIntyre. McIntyre talks about how he was a hero during the time when the world needed one. Sure, Drew. Or you were just on top when COVID happened. Remember, there was the crowd at one time when the Royal Rumble was won by him, so he was getting the push before COVID even started. Drew was on top during a dark period, and he says he's sick of people making that into a negative thing. I'm sick of Drew McIntyre being a tweener. I want him to be a full face or heel, and I blame Triple H for that. You know, you have to go to the head guy. Somebody should have Drew as one or the other. I looked at my notes and see the word gender, so I almost said gender. Damage controller to Jinder in 2 seconds here. Damage controller backstage, and Pierce at least gives a reason why they were there. They invited them there to promote the Rumble and not to get involved. Bayley says, get used to the sights of us when the Warriors were the tag titles. And then Jinder Mahal says he wants to talk to him as he's the hottest star of 2024 in the segment with The Rock and all the numbers. And Pierce just goes, I need a drink, as the crowd laugh. Jey Uso's going to get Bronson Reed. Gunther's going to get Kofi. DIY, he's going to get the Judgment Day. This is all next week, 2 nights after the Royal Rumble on Raw from Tampa, Florida. We got our main event, McIntyre versus Priest. Priest has McIntyre in the corner of the ring, and he comes out with a thunderous clothesline by Drew. McIntyre drops Priest to the floor, sends him into the ring post. A broken arrow to McIntyre on the announce table by Priest, and it doesn't break, making the collision look even harder. Priest back in the ring, and in the main event, both guys give each other a boot, and they both drop at the same time. A belly-to-belly suplex followed by a neck breaker. Priest avoids the 3-2-1 and goes into a jackknife and a kick-out. Priest elevates McIntyre onto the apron, and Drew on top of Priest ducks. Turns McIntyre inside out with a broken arrow. A tilt-a-whirl DDT is countered into 2 broken arrows, one on the table, one inside the ring. Priest with a somersault plancha to the outside for a big man. The agility is impressive. R-Truth goes to give Priest his money and gets shoved down. Priest goes to give him the briefcase. McIntyre hits a DDT. Truth doesn't know the combination, so he can't put the money in the briefcase, which is funny. McIntyre with the right hand, Priest with the choke slam, and R-Truth is distracting the official. Priest can't get the count because R-Truth is there, so he grabs R-Truth and sends him through the middle of the ropes to the floor. And Drew wins the match with a Claymore as Priest was distracted and gets the 3 count. Then they had the finish just be McIntyre's celebration. Long gone are the days when Austin and The Rock and Triple H would come out brawling and JR would be saying, who's going to win the Rumble, my God? Going into a pay-per-view. Either way, they did a decent job. Match of the night was Gable Ivar, for sure. Moment of the night was the Cody CM Punk face-to-face, delivering the goods on a stick. They did a good job in areas. In other areas, they still feel bland. For the go-home show to the Royal Rumble, it doesn't seem impressive. But for a random Raw, outside of being the 1600th Raw, for just a random Raw, it would be otherwise looked at as okay. I give it a 5 out of 10 overall, just a passing grade. The opening segment with Rollins and Gunther makes you believe Gunther is instantly the third guy, like I said, or second to win the Rumble. It should be exciting heading into Friday's last show before the Rumble. As always, I'll give you a preview of SmackDown on Thursday, and I'll be back with a Raw rating video either tomorrow or the next day. So take this opportunity to please hit the like and subscribe button if you've made it this far. I'd appreciate it. It would help me out with being a new channel and all. A newer channel. I'm now a 4-month veteran, I guess to say, if that's counted as a veteran status. I'm not sure. Probably not. I'll be back later this week. That does it for the 1600th Raw from New Orleans on January the 22nd, 2024. Hope you enjoyed Raw, everyone. There's the rundown. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out.